channel that negative energy into something more positive. I do think we're blessed that both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama are all going to be gracious in these opening statements and help set a tone.
Yeah, and President Obama remembers 8 years ago when there was a transition and he became president. That was very, very useful. He was a junior senator from Illinois, and all of a sudden he's the president-elect of the United States. Maeve, Donald Trump really has no government experience at all, and now he's going to be the commander-in-chief and the president of the United States. And you got to give him an enormous amount of credit. He came from nowhere. People discounted him. They belittled him when he was running for the Republican presidential nomination against 16 or 17 Republican governors and senators who had a lot of money, a lot of advertising. He beat them all one by one by one. And then they underestimated him. The Democrats certainly did. The Clinton campaign certainly did in these months leading up to last night.
They absolutely did, and I think there certainly is a lot of soul searching going on in the Democratic Party as well about, how this happened and whether Hillary Clinton was the strongest candidate to go up against Donald Trump. I mean, I think that there's so much pressure though on Donald Trump now, who has not been particularly specific about most of the things that he wants to do, with the exception of a deportation force and a wall. There's so much pressure on him now to kind of lay out an agenda, and there's pressure on Republicans to be a check on those ideas that they did not agree with. So it's going to be a fascinating scene that plays out.
But I actually think, I totally agree with you that he's been very vague on a lot of the policy prescriptions that you usually hear a lot of details from presidential candidates. But that actually gives him a lot of running room now, a lot of running room to work, never mind the Democrats, but with his fellow Republicans who will control Congress, to do deals on things that they might not do with another Republican leader. Certainly they wouldn't do with, for example, on the budget with John Boehner, because they didn't trust him, even Paul Ryan. And so this gives them an opportunity and him an opportunity, especially if he has some goodwill after he nominates a conservative to the Supreme Court, probably overturns executive orders, then he's going to, there's going to be a lot more room for give and take with someone like that.
That first day, Gloria, that he's going to be president of the United States, January 20th, the inauguration, during all these speeches at these rallies, on day one, I'm going to remove the Iran nuclear deal. On day one, I'm going to do this.
Well, he's going to reverse executive actions.
All of President Obama's executive orders.
There are certain things that he can do, on day one. And I bet that those are the things that he will do on day one. I think it's also going to be interesting to watch how the Democratic Party reacts to him, because it's not unlike Barack Obama. When Barack Obama came in, he was kind of a celebrity, and so is Donald Trump. He had control of the Congress, and so does Donald Trump. And I think that what Obama did was say he wanted to be a transformational president. People who come into office very often overinterpret their mandate. I would argue maybe Barack Obama did that. And we'll have to see what Donald Trump does, what he's able to achieve with his own party, and how the Democrats react. Because the Republicans from day one, Mitch McConnell said, our first job is to get rid of Barack Obama.
The congratulatory messages to the president-elect are coming in. Former President George H.W. Bush 2 minutes ago just tweeted, "Barbara and I congratulate Donald Trump, wish him well as he guides America forward as our next president. His family is in our prayers." Very nice tweet, very nice message from former President George H.W. Bush. The Bush family, as we know, especially after Jeb Bush, the former Florida governor, was soundly defeated by Donald Trump, they have not been out there supporting Trump.
No. The Bush family has real animus toward Trump, but I think they're graciously going to put that aside. I do disagree that this is the parallels to Obama. The Obama inauguration was one of the biggest celebrations I've ever witnessed in this country, and there was a sense that this was a country that was inclusive, that was bringing everybody in. This is we're heading toward a time when Donald Trump, right from the beginning, has held us together. But underneath a lot of this, some of his aides are already saying things like, "We've got enemies, we have long memories, we'll remember who with us."
What will the Democrats do? The Republicans felt that way about Barack Obama.
Well, they didn't feel threatened. I mean, you've got a lot of Democrats who feel personally threatened. That women feel we're going backwards. That minorities feel fearful. and insecure, that this is not the country that they thought they were living in.
I'm not so sure a lot of people didn't feel the way about Barack Obama. I'm not so sure they expressed it as publicly.
You remember all those critics, all those haters of the president who didn't even